Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it to the NBA Finals. Now, for some of us, this is a disappointing time for the NBA season because, well, really the NBA season is coming to a close. Now, I've been a big proponent of the WNBA, so I will say basketball is not gone, and we don't have the boring kind of games, the boring sports, basically baseball and hockey. We don't have just those two sports till the next basketball season or even football season comes around, because a lot of you do watch football as well. We do have the WNBA, but we still have the NBA Finals to talk about, to witness, to watch, and have all these great storylines and videos come out of it. All of us love the game of basketball, but some of us, we're casual watchers, and there's nothing wrong with that. That happens. We're going to have casual fans in any sport, in any arena, regardless of what it is. The issue with casual fans, though, is they're not really adept to knowing who the younger guys are, the smaller market teams are, and just following the league in its entirety. Most of them are savvy to the teams like the Lakers, the Knicks, the Bulls, the Nets, the big market teams that everybody knows about and sees them plastered everywhere when it comes to merchandise, TV, ads, every single thing involved. Most casuals, they see those teams. Though these teams that I named, they haven't been the best in the last decade and a half or so besides the Lakers, we're still very adept to seeing big names, big players, and big teams at this stage of the playoffs. Now, this NBA Finals is something special. It's sort of like the Bucks and Phoenix one that we got a few years ago. Obviously, the Heat are a storied franchise, so I'm not going to say they're not one of those teams that don't have a major fan base or anything, because they're a big market team. However, they're not one of those big market teams that has a storied history. They're more of a team that they've built the history in the 2000s and forward. Most other teams that are huge market teams, they did very good in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s when basketball was at its height in terms of growing, in terms of moving upward. So most fans that are casuals and most fans that were introduced to basketball, they were fans of these big teams. Usually at this point, I'd be doing a finals prediction, but if you follow me on Twitter, you do know I've been trying to get away from like the current event kind of style videos and go with some more long form type of videos. So without further ado, this is the NBA Casual Guide to the NBA Finals. There may be some things you don't know, and you might not be a casual, but regardless, we're going to get you up to speed on the two teams that are in the NBA Finals this year, and then I'll give my prediction at the end. Now, granted, we're going to have a true prediction video next video, so I'm not going to elaborate too much with regard to who I predict and who I think will win the finals, but I will tell you who I think will win at the end of this one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and let's hop into it. I'm not gonna lie, a hater's guide would have been dope for this video, but with the Nuggets and the Heat reaching the finals, there's too many smooth brain people out there on Twitter, on Instagram, all these different social medias that are saying this finals is gonna be boring. They're saying we don't want this finals. They're saying all things that only a casual fan would really say. And the reason why they say these things is primarily because they don't like basketball. Let's be real. Y'all don't love basketball. And if you don't love basketball, that's okay. But if you're getting paid while covering basketball and you're one of those people that are saying this is going to be a boring finals, shame on you. But let's be real. We're all basketball lovers here. So we love this finals for what it is and what it's going to be, especially because the Nuggets are there, and that's great for basketball. And that's coming from a Lakers fan. The Nuggets have finally brought it all together at this point. They've gone through injuries to their stars, a not-so-ready bench rotation, and other factors that have kept them outside of that contending tier in the Western Conference. But this year, this time, right now, it's their time. It's one of those things. It's one of those, you just feel it. You know it. They have an aura about their whole team that you know it is their time now. If you're a Nuggets fan, considering subscribing to my friend The Drop Step, as he is your one-stop shop for all Nuggets-related content and information. And for now, I'll introduce you to their team, but I'm going to just let you know now, if you're more interested in the Nuggets, really go follow him because he's very in-depth with his Nuggets lore, and he's co-workers with Jokic, bro. Come on now. You can't beat that. But first on this Nuggets roster, Jamal motherfucking Murray. That's what I've been calling him this playoff run. A historic playoff riser who is infamously known for his bubble performance, which I can now say, which I've always said, it wasn't a fluke. Many of us knew this already, but this playoff run has solidified how good of a point guard he is for this team. And his two-man game with Jokic is virtually unstoppable. Just go ask AD and the Lakers, because I'm going to tell you this now, when those two get in the pick and roll, it's scary because the amount of reads they get out of it is crazy. Jamal can shoot, facilitate, make pretty much any pass he wants to, and then if he dumps it off to Jokic can do the exact same thing. Joining Jamal Murray in the backcourt is KCP. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a 3-and-D player that can leak out in the break for a crowd-energizing dunk, or a pass that even leads to a dunk, as I've seen in the past. KCP is a guy that makes the right play at the right time, right when you need it. And I personally miss him being on the Lakers, but I could say he is an amazing fit for Denver. He's one of the few players on this Denver roster that I think fits so well with them that wasn't drafted by them. It's perfect. Moving on to their front court, they have MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. He's a small forward that, I'm not going to lie, I thought he was the next up coming out of high school and not so much out of college because he has some injury concerns in college and only played like 13 games or something like that. However, the Nuggets still saw the potential in him that other teams didn't really see. They've stuck beside him through countless injuries, countless surgeries, and he's finally got to the point where it looks like he's ready and he has taken that next step. MPJ has progressed both offensively and defensively, and he'll hit a timely three exactly when you need it. He's their guy when it comes to a tough bucket, a tough three. And honestly, when MPJ rises up for a shot, you could tell the defense is almost non-existent for him because he's adept, and I mean adept, to shooting the tough contested jumpers. Joining him in the front court is Aaron Gordon. Now, Aaron Gordon's another talent that has progressed so much in these last couple years, but specifically this year, I never thought I would see him get to the level that he did. He's one of those guys that in my book, for many, many years since he came into the league, I deemed him as a 2K player. If you guys don't know what that is, it's pretty much a guy that just runs, jumps, and dunks. That's pretty much it. He's a traffic cone on offense, can't shoot worth a shit, can't dribble worth a shit. But I'll tell you this now, Aaron Gordon, complete 180 and has flipped a switch to where now he's deemed the KD killer for what he did against KD and the Suns, and I want to say it was round 2. Moving on to their bench, we got Bruce Brown, and I call him Bargain Man Bruce. And the reason I do that is because the services he is providing the Nuggets, making just $6 million a year, it should be criminal. The Nuggets, I can't even call it robbery for the Nuggets because Bruce Brown was at a stage where he needs a prove-it deal. However, he's proved it, and it's crazy. He's another 3-and-D guy that he has sneaky athleticism, and he makes the plays when you absolutely need it on both offense and defense. Again, I'm going to go back to that Lakers series because obviously that was the last series they played, and he's fundamental. Every game he played against the Lakers, even outside of the playoffs, in the regular season, he was fundamental. And he's a generational shit talker. And we all know I love my shit talkers, especially when you can back it up. Bruce Brown, he's one of those guys, and he's about to get paid. That nigga is about to get a bag this offseason. Another guy on their team who is very, very young, and I think it's his rookie year. Correct me if I'm wrong. If it's not his rookie year, it's his second year. But I'm pretty sure it's his rookie year. It's Christian Braun. One of the many, many steals of the draft this year, and I say this because I'm pretty sure he's a rookie, but regardless, whatever draft he would have been in, he's a steal. He's a kid that's won at every single level, 3 state championships in high school, a natty in college, and now he's on his way to the NBA Finals in his first year as an NBA player. If you look up winner in the dictionary, you're going to see a photo of the white boy Christian Braun right there. You might not know who it is, but it's going to say Christian Braun, and next to it is going to say he's a high-flying, pickpocketed white boy that has a very, very, very big chance to be my favorite over Austin Reeves. Now, it's not going to happen because Austin Reeves is a Laker. But in the event that Austin Reeves does leave this year and the Lakers don't get their new white boy, yeah, it's going to have to be Christian Braun, I'm afraid to say. He's the real deal. Y'all should watch more of him, even past this finals appearance. And last but not least, the guy that is the head of it all. Big Yoke, Joker, Nikola Jokic, a guy that needs zero introduction, none at all. He's the best big in the league, best passer in the league, and for all who are unfamiliar with his game, he's a good defender. Now, I'm not going to say elite. I'm not going to say he's bad because he's not bad. And I'm not even going to say average because there are some players in the league that I think are average defenders. They could get a stop here and there. And no, Jokic is not that. He's a pretty good defender. He's in the middle between elite and average. Pretty good. Jokic is kind of like that one kid in the PE class that he's fat, he seems slow, and he might just be slow. However, he has the most skill of anybody on the court standing there. make any pass he wants, hits any shot he wants, and they do it in the most unconventional way. I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I know a name comes to mind right now of somebody that was in your PE class that was just like that in high school. Jokic is so unbelievable. Everything he does, it makes me speechless watching him. From his catapult, slingshot, jump shots at the end of the shot clock to his amazing passes that make you think, how the hell did he see that? Jokic is really, really special, and I think this NBA Finals gives him the stage that he deserves to put his talents on display. On the other side of the fence with the Miami Heat, an amazing organization. All we talk about is their culture from top to bottom. It starts with Pat Riley, makes its way to Coach Spo, and then his team. Jimmy Butler is an extension of Spoelstra. That dog mentality is shared across this entire team, and this whole team, they're players that truly got it out the mud. I'm not going to be like ESPN and all these other major telecasts telling you how many players were undrafted, what player didn't go. It don't matter, because I'm going to be honest, I don't think being drafted really matters when it comes to this point. If you're a dog and you got it like that, some team is going to see your talent. In Miami, they're one of the best at it. The Heat are one of those teams that's always going to be prominent in this league, and is due to this well-built culture that Pat Riley established when he took over this team, first as a coach and then moved into the front office. What's amazing about their culture is the fact that they're in one of the cities that never sleeps. Now, I know they say that about New York and Vegas and stuff like that, but if we're being honest, there's a lot of cities in the States that are like this, and Miami is one of those cities. And to have control and reign on players, especially players that are making millions on millions on millions, in a city like Miami, to have them so locked in and bought in, it's amazing. You can't say anything more about it than it's amazing. The Heat are built on hard-nosed, blue-collar work, and their star Jimmy Butler is the literal embodiment of their culture. Just look at how he told Bam he didn't even want to hold the Eastern Conference Finals trophy, and he said he'd hold the next one, which, by the way, would be that Larry O trophy. They're, of course, led by Jimmy Butler. At point guard, they have both Kyle Lowry and Gabe Vincent. Now, I kind of split the two because both of them sort of do the same thing. The playmaking and facilitating duties doesn't fall on just one guy, which is very dope for this team because Kyle Lowry is an older player, while Gabe Vincent is a younger player that was in the G League for a while. So it kind of helps both sides of the fence. Kyle Lowry, he can't play as many minutes, while Gabe Vincent, he's not at that championship level yet. So it's the best of both worlds for this Miami Heat team. Then you have Max Strus, who ironically was cut from the Celtics only to start against them in the Eastern Conference Finals a few years later. And Max gives you great shooting, and he honestly reminds me a lot of Mike Miller. Not an amazing defender at this point, but he can get the job done. And when they need a timely bucket, he can give them one, and he has done that. And regardless of anything else, he's giving you 100% while he's on that floor. Then you have a guy like Cody Martin, who has played absolutely outside of his mind these last two games. I would call him a shooting guard / wing hybrid. I wouldn't call him one or the other. His last two games were absolutely amazing. Game 7, he had 26 on a 68% efficiency clip, and not enough can be said about him and his production to this team and how important he's been. He was a guy that was pretty much out of the league, cut by one of the worst teams in the league this year, just to be an integral part of this championship team. Like I said before, Miami knows how to get talent, and going back to our earlier point, it does not matter if you get drafted because there's going to be a team somewhere that sees the talent in you and can value that talent. In the last two games of the Eastern Conference Finals, he had 25 rebounds to Bam's 23. Caleb has been fundamental these last couple games, and he is a huge reason as to why they closed out Boston, and his job has been completely understated since they had Tyler Hero break his hand. And honestly, I guess this is a perfect segue into Bam Adebayo since we're talking about him and his rebounds compared to Caleb Martin. And I'm going to be honest, because this is a casuals guide, and I can't talk as if you guys just know about Bam and understand who he is as a player and things like that. But I'm going to tell you this now, Bam is going to frustrate you, especially if you're rooting for Miami. Bam is a guy that can look like the best defensive player in the league, looks like a guy that on offense can do whatever the hell he wants to do in a great 6'9 frame, 6'9 strong frame, but then on the next night, he'll sell you. And you don't know what the fuck is going on because he's making plays that don't make sense. And he wasn't making this same boneheaded plays just 2 quarters ago. So he can get really confusing, but above all else, he is an exemplary talent that can do pretty much anything on the floor. At times, they would have him bring the ball up the court. Although I haven't seen it too much in this playoff run, there are moments where he does bring the ball up the court and he's able to do that. And he's a very good big, don't get me wrong, but his inconsistencies can get very, very annoying if you're rooting for Miami. But they have been minimized a lot this playoff series. The next guy on this team who hasn't quite played since the beginning of the playoffs due to a broken hand is Tyler Hero. Now, the reason I'm talking about him is because he's set to be back during this final series, and he is a bona fide shot creator. There's nothing you can say about that. He broke his hand early in the playoffs, but he's a guy that can give Miami a consistent 20 to 25 points a night, and he could do it without plays being drawn up for him, sort of like Jimmy can, just not on the same elite level as Jimmy Butler. But he is a kid that he can generate his own shots, and you need that in this league, especially when you're playing against a team like the Nuggets. And last but not least, that boy Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy, vocal leader, dog, and he's a leader by both example and verbally. I said this in a video not long ago. Jimmy Butler is the true embodiment of what Mamba mentality is and was. We often talk about Jason Tatum or Devin Booker being that next Kobe kind of guy strictly because of their elite mid-range ability. But what many fail to realize is that Kobe's aura and Kobe's Mamba mentality was a mindset, not a skill set. And Jimmy Butler is the closest thing to that mindset in today's league. And if we are going to whittle it down to a skill set, Jimmy Butler might be the closest to that as well. Jimmy Butler is the guy that makes this team go. And you could tell he really supports and loves his guys, and he's really, really steadfast on getting a ring. Now, of course, the Heat have other players like their sniper Duncan Robinson and Haywood Highsmith, who is huge on defense for the Heat in the last couple games or so. But the guys that I've already named are the core that you're going to be seeing play the bulk of the minutes in the finals. And I wanted to make sure if you are a new basketball fan or even a fan who doesn't really follow either of these teams closely, had a true introduction so you know what is going on during the game and what to look out for. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is one of the newer videos because I told you guys I want longer-ended videos. This is one of those longer-ended videos. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know how much you enjoyed it. Let me know your predictions in the comments below about who you think is going to win the finals. I personally have the Nuggets winning in 5, but like I said, prediction video with more breakdown, more analysis, and more reasoning behind that Nuggets in 5 will be out just before the game tomorrow. And the finals kick off, I believe, at 8:30 tomorrow, June 1st. So let me know what you guys think. It's about that time. It's your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and debates on the tube. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I'm out. Peace.